play the game. Time to play the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Earth, welcome to the It Doesn't Matter podcast. And we've got myself, Strap Facts, John. We've got Poppy Platino. We've got the host of the show, the notorious one, Dom Williams. Boom. And we have a very special topic here today. It was suggested by myself many a time ago about how remarkable the year 2002 was for one particular professional wrestler, and that particular wrestler is The Game, Triple H. So, Dom, what we've got going on with Triple H in 2002?
All right, we're going to take it back to January 7th, 2002, Madison Square Garden, where The Game, Triple H, returned from a quad injury. And my God, what a reaction. That was one of the loudest reactions of all times, guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this reaction right here?
Goosebumps, man. Goosebumps. I remember watching that live as a kid, and I'm just like, yo, this crowd is lit for this return. I wasn't expecting it. I think there was like little vignettes where they were saying he was on his way back, but I just remember Monday night watching. All of a sudden, you hear that dun, 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 time to play the game. I was like, oh my God. And that crowd just erupted. I'm like, this guy left as a heel, and he's loved on his way back. It's insane. It's one of the loudest crowd reactions you ever hear. It might be even bigger than a Road Warrior pop.
It's definitely up there. John, what about you?
A muscular bodybuilding fan such as Triple H himself would appreciate that comparison. But yes, Triple H, sadly, injured in San Jose during a tag team matchup with him and Stone Cold versus Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. He injured his quad famously, missed the entire WCW Alliance invasion. Good for him. And we were set for a big, huge comeback, one of the biggest of all times, as we've already let everyone know here in Madison Square Garden. And they had this song, the what was it, The Beautiful Day, right? No,
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yep.
It's a beautiful day. Triple H
It's a beautiful
spin.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so big grand return for Triple H. I mean, as we'll go on to review and talk about, this was his push. This was his renewed push into the main event scene, and it all began with his comeback at MSG as he announces his his ticket into the Royal Rumble match.
In case you forgot who he is The Game. You can bet your ass that he is back, and he officially enters himself into the 2002 Royal Rumble. Then after this, we see the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle come to the ring, and he's entering the Royal Rumble. The reason why he wasn't in the 2001 Royal Rumble, you want to know the reason why? Platinum, what was the reason why?
Because he was the challenger for the WWE?
Because he beat the Game's ass the previous year. He pinned him. Triple H get pissed off, then he whooped Kurt's ass. Pedigree. That's it.
Crazy.
Boom. All right, so we're going to cover the whole 2002 of Triple H. So after that right there, Triple H, he's married to Stephanie McMahon at the time, and she wanted to renew her vows, but Triple H realized that no good son of a, you know what, she was lying that she was pregnant. John, do you recall that?
I am not the father, but yes, a little bit of a ruse here by the ever so savvy Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, playing on the minds, the souls, the hearts, and lives of men everywhere. The worrying, what's going on there? But yes, I do remember this angle, and I remember, they would go on to do the wedding thing and renewing their vows, and remembering the excess saliva in Stephanie's mouth as she screams at Triple H, leaving her at the altar.
I remember that.
Oh, we all do, don't we? Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man. All right, so the Royal Rumble takes place, and Triple H enters at number 22, and he wins it, and he is going to main event WrestleMania 18. All right, so we're going to get into February. Now, he's feuding with Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle still wants to become WWE champion, and he's going to do whatever it takes. So, February 14th on SmackDown. I watched this. I had to look it up. Kurt Angle teamed with The Undertaker to take on Triple H. And, John, do you know who? You know who his partner was?
Stephanie McMahon.
Plado, you got a choice?
The Rock.
Maven.
Maven.
Triple H and Maven.
Maven.
Maven and Triple H teamed up to fight Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. So at this time, Triple H found out that she was lying because Linda McMahon called Triple H, and all of a sudden he had a videotape showing that the doctor or therapist who they were talking to, that he was a paid actor, and basically he called her out, embarrassed her. Now Stephanie's pissed off. It's Valentine's Day, and she wants Kurt and Undertaker to bring Triple H's heart to her.
Ooh. Yes.
So that match take place, and it really doesn't matter. But they made an announcement at the end of that match. They said that Stephanie McMahon is going to be the guest referee at No Way Out for Kurt Angle and Triple H. John, you want to talk about No Way Out 2002?
No. But Kurt Angle and Triple H, I mean, this is their second go-around. They had a great feud in the summer of 2000 with, Kurt maybe having feelings for Stephanie, and that three-way madness, and its apex was at SummerSlam 2000 in a three-way with The Rock for the.
My bad. Just to let you know that this match between Kurt Angle and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon is the guest referee just for Triple H's #1 contendership for WrestleMania.
Wow.
And you know who Kurt Angle would face at that Mania? Everyone's favorite demon, Kane.
Oh, wow.
Good second place runner-up choice there, But as we see, it's just a stopgap. But you always have to present these challenges to the challenger of the WrestleMania main event, and this was just like I said, a nice little stopgap for Triple H on the way to WrestleMania, picking up the victory here, and we're on our merry way to WrestleMania X8, which would be remembered for things other than Triple H's grand epic return. Sadly,
hold on, player. I gotta stop you there, player. Triple H lost that match with No Way Out.
All right, great. You caught me in a lie. I have no fucking idea what happened at No Way Out 2002.
Kurt Angle won. And then Chris Jericho, he defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the next night he aligned himself with Stephanie McMahon on Raw. And Triple H, literally the next day on Raw, he ran it back with Kurt Angle, and he won that match to become the #1 contender again. Player.
Great.
So it's set. WrestleMania 18 is going to be Chris Jericho with Stephanie McMahon taking on Triple H for the title.
That was
fabulous.
A little bit unnecessary. So you have the guy lose his #1 contendership to just gain it back and to go against his wife. Might as well just let him.
Some Rey Mysterio story.
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I would have just had Triple H win the match. She could have aligned herself with Jericho and just started that feud right away, so he doesn't have to deal with another match with Kurt Angle, because maybe they didn't have an idea what to do with Kurt Angle. No wonder why they probably flip-flopped him.
Well, the road to WrestleMania is continuing on, because on March 4th, the edition of Raw, Kurt Angle fought Triple H in a steel cage match. John, you know who won that match?
One of them.
That is true. Which one?
Don't know.
Kurt Angle won that steel cage match with the help of Stephanie McMahon.
Wow.
So
Kurt Angle. What a winner. What a loser on the way to WrestleMania to do nothing.
So Kurt won that match, and the whole time during getting towards WrestleMania, Triple H and Stephanie, they're arguing about divorce things and their dog and whatnot. All right, let's bypass that. Let's go 2 weeks. Let's go to WrestleMania 18. And the main events of that night, Chris Jericho and Triple H. But we know what the real main event should have been for WrestleMania 18. Platino?
Boo. Boo.
The most electrifying man in all entertainment.
And the one beer I'll never drink because I'm drinking El Segundo, the second beer.
No, wait, you reach all the way in back of the fridge for that one?
No, fresh.
Fresh, huh? Oh, yeah? We're around town?
Yes, sir.
Well, he's not giving up his secrets.
Nope.
Gordon's
Well, we
yellow
talked about
package
this
there.
match before, so John, give a brief summary about WrestleMania 18 and our thoughts. We talked about numerous times about Triple H and Jericho.
Well, see, traditionally you want WrestleMania to end with a world championship match, and that's what happened. And sometimes you have these calls you have to make to which match will end the show. And unfortunately, they just, they technically did the right thing. The show ended with the world title match, but the real main event was the most popular one, which was The Rock and Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That was the real main event that everyone was there to see, and we just loved that match. It's maybe not a scientific masterpiece, but we're all about the big lights, big city, the beautiful girls, the limelight of pro wrestling, and that's what Hulk Hogan and The Rock was. And the crowd was just tired. They had a buffer match, three-way with the women's championship, as WWE typically did at that time. And we went to the main event, Triple H and Chris Jericho. If Triple H was, he might have lost. I really do believe he lost a lot of momentum with the Stephanie storyline, even though, it ended up with him leaving, well, in so many twists and turns, leaving Stephanie. And then Chris Jericho, he was the unified WWE champion, the undisputed WWE world champion, and he was just an afterthought to the Triple H and Stephanie storyline. So you didn't have a main event with two compelling characters. You had a main with two compelling wrestlers. You had it with maybe two compelling characters, but one of them was a manager, and that's just not enough to be your main event feature attraction that'll grab the attention of the WWE universe. But there's nothing wrong with the match. It was just in the wrong spot on the card. So
I totally agree.
And the crazy thing is, after that Rock match, there was a Jazz, Lita, and Trish Stratus women's title match. Then we go to this main event match itself, the buffer match, and just bad placing.
the buffer match was, as Vince McMahon designed, isn't effective? Was it ever effective?
For that, for that Mania, it wasn't effective because the crowd was so hot for Hogan and Rock. I don't even think they were expecting that. Maybe Rock and Hogan probably did, but the electricity was just taken away from the crowd. There was no way you can get an energy like that after, like we said, it's not a scientific match, but it had everything you needed. Just two big characters that everybody wanted to see.
That's right. Well, WrestleMania 18, Triple H, he wins gold. Triple H becomes your new undisputed champion.
Of tanning.
Yes. Yeah. And after this, after WrestleMania, we get a brand split. And at this time, Chris Jericho, he's still feuding with Triple H. Stephanie McMahon is still beefing with her husband. So on March 25th, on the Monday night edition of Raw, we get a triple threat match for the undisputed title. We have Chris Jericho versus Triple H versus Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, my God.
What?
Triple H got the win. He pinned Stephanie.
Of course.
I didn't know.
And just because of the stipulation, Stephanie had to leave the WWE. So now, let's get into the month of April. Backlash is approaching. The main event for Backlash was Triple H versus Hollywood Hogan for the title. But at this time, Triple H is still feuding with Jericho. Jericho is still that pissants still lingering on, trying to leech on, just like how Cool Ray always says by Jericho. But, John, you want to talk about Hogan and Triple H at Backlash?
I mean, this really came out of nowhere. It forced the hand of Vince McMahon and all the bookers in WWE. Who would have thunk that the Backlash WrestleMania Revenge main event pay-per-view would be Triple H losing to Hollywood scum Hogan? It's just that's why one of the reasons I picked this year and to talk about Triple H in 2002, not Kurt Angle and some bullshit storyline at No Way Out. No. I'm here to talk about Hulk Hogan being so over at WrestleMania that they put the championship on him. His sixth, I think, World WWE title. Yeah, sixth WWE title on the guy. And he'd only have it for a month before Undertaker dragged his ass across the carpet to the Republican National Convention, and Undertaker would win the title the next month at Judgment Day. But we're still on Backlash here. But Triple H and Hogan, and I remember watching this match back, and I paused it. I made a screenshot. And I said, "Look at this: the leader of the NWO and the leader of D Generation X. Imagine this 4 years prior. Incredible." So it's just weird things.
Yep. Well, Hogan got the win because of the interference of Chris Jericho and The Undertaker.
Crazy.
Well, on the April 25th edition of SmackDown, Jericho and Triple H, they fought for the number one contendership. And Jericho won because of The Undertaker again. So the following week, Jericho challenged Hogan for the title. And Triple H interferes and Hogan retains. So now we're moving on to the month of May of 2002. Judgment Day is approaching. We got to finish this feud. So it's only right to finish the feud inside Hell in a Cell. So we got Chris Jericho taking on Triple H.
Ooh.
John?
This was also the match because it ends careers. It ends lives. It ends storylines for sure. This was one of the last matches referee Tim White would ever do because he got severely injured in this match during the match between Triple H and Chris Jericho. And I remember seeing this match as a highlight on some DVD compilation of WWE. And yeah, they did some spots. They made it to the roof. But yeah, this was a closing. I mean, where else do you go after this? It's the finale of a feud between Jericho and Triple H that had been brewing for at least 3 months. So, but yeah, Judgment Day, known for this, known for the Undertaker and Hogan, and one of the more memorable arenas in SmackDown. Here comes the pain.
Yes, well, after this feud ended, Triple H, he demands a title shot with The Undertaker.
Man, he's all about the world title, isn't he?
He's all about the game. He's all about the title. It's all about the game. You already know. Well, after Judgment Day, Triple H, he takes out Undertaker, demands a title shot. And on SmackDown, Triple H had a match with Test, and Undertaker interfered, and Test got the win over Triple H.
At last.
So
from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, so June 6th on SmackDown, Triple H becomes the number one contender by defeating Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
So this takes us to the King of the Ring, 2002.
Oh, yeah.
You have The Undertaker taking on Triple H for the title, for the undisputed title. Strap.
And someone got the F out, didn't they? They were in dire straits, dire times. Stone Cold was at this pay-per-view?
Well, you said about Stone Cold. I was talking about they literally got the F out because they changed the E right after this.
Oh, after it was still the King of the Ring?
This was the last one before they went to WWE.
Who was the champion at the time?
I thought it was earlier.
Taker was the champion at the time?
Yeah.
I could have sworn before they turned to WWE, Hogan was the champion.
Well,
And then after that, they had the F out.
Wasn't The Rock part of this?
Yep. Undertaker won the match because of The Rock's interference.
Right, and The Rock only came back after Stone Cold got the F out. That's what I thought. Memory serves me or not, I don't know. But,
I didn't go deep into it like that, but yes, The Rock interfered and then Taker retained.
I mean, so yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin, that shows how giant the world of pro wrestling is. He had his own issues. He was booked. Hey, he was booked to lose to Brock Lesnar in round 1 of the King of the Ring tournament, and he chose to go home that night. He got the F out. I believe the next week or maybe 2 weeks later, that's when The Rock came back from. He was drafted to SmackDown in the brand split, the roster split, but he had to go film a movie or something, and he came back and making fun of Stone Cold for taking his ball home, and that's where that's where Stone Cold got legitimately pissed at The Rock, maybe because he didn't pay attention to the advertising at the time, but he's like, Dwayne, you told me to get the F out. What? So if The Rock interfered at the King of the Ring, the King of the Ring would have been after his return, after the WWF name change. So that's all. That's what I think. I don't know.
That timeline is so funky because I could have sworn I read up that back in the day that Hogan was the very first WWF and the very last WWF champion. And the very first WWE champion. He
might have been. I don't know. I could have been wrong.
It's off by maybe a month or two, but
yeah,
either or.
It's off by a victory or two. It's okay.
That's it.
But yeah, just speaking about that, I think there was a mandate back in the day when Austin left and took his ball and went home. Everybody was like, hey, shit on him, fuck him. He left you guys high and dry, so if he doesn't want to play ball, screw him. But in reality, I got to go with Austin's idea on that. Like, he's okay, and even I'm okay with him losing to Brock, but round 1? This is a guy that made millions and millions of dollars off of just one catchphrase. Austin 316. And you're telling me you're going to lose in round 1, a multi-time champion, a multi-main eventer? Not to say that Brock wasn't going to become, we didn't know he was going to become who he was, but he's way too young into his career. You can't just do that to Austin. The guy's your moneymaker. Say that for like the end of the King of the Ring. Then you could have made money. The fans would have loved it. We could have finally had Austin versus Brock, and what the hell was going to happen with that? Brock was going to kill him, but I get it. When you're the boss, you make decisions that you don't want to make, but sometimes you got to listen to your talent, and I could have scratched that. Found some way to, he got hurt and then show up at the end of the tournament.
You got to do what's best for business.
Playa.
Yes. All right, so Strap, I was talking to you earlier today. You say you really don't remember what happened after King of the Ring.
Yeah, I knew The Undertaker and Triple H and The Rock had some kind of... So, obviously, there's a one-on-one match there. The Rock did some kind of interference. Undertaker retained, I believe, right? So, after that, the Rock goes on to Vengeance in a three-way. Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and The Rock in an amazing match. But where did Triple H go? I don't know.
All right. Well, at this time, Triple H, I don't know where he was at. I was looking. I was researching. I did a lot of research for this. But at this time, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, he is back. But this time, he is with the NWO with big, sexy Kevin Nash, 6-Pac, X-Pac, Booker T, sucker.
1-Pac 4.
Yeah, so at this time, Stephanie McMahon is back, and she's the general manager of SmackDown. Eric Bischoff, he's the general manager of Raw. And HBK had a great idea at Vengeance that we should reform D Generation X. And he wanted Triple H to be on Raw. So he pursued Triple H to be on Raw with Eric Bischoff. So Triple H made the announcement, I'm going to be on Raw. And literally the next night after Vengeance, we get the DX reunion. Get the DX shirts. They out there. Then we see Triple H with the pedigree. He ripped the shirt off. And that was it. DX, bye-bye. Have a nice day.
I mean, Triple H had nowhere else to go as a face. He kept losing his rematches, and he was done, son.
So this right here was one of the greatest storylines at that time of 2002.
Yeah.
We get the rivalry with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Shawn hasn't had a match in 4 years because of the bad back, and it's going to take you to SummerSlam 2002, which I still consider one of the greatest SummerSlams of all time. The unsanctioned match with them two. And also on that card, you got Rock and Brock. Woo. You have Woo. Eddie, Eddie and Edge?
Cope.
Eddie and Rated R Superstar Cope. Yes, it was Cope. Oh my God. Yeah, Test and the Undertaker. My God, it was a card. It was a hell of a card.
Kurt Angle versus that little boy.
Yes.
And I love playing with little boys. Wait. Not like that.
Yes, but we talked about this.
Oh yeah, SummerSlam 2002.
We broke it down already. Platinum, give the fans a breakdown of Triple H and HBK at SummerSlam 2002, the unsanctioned match, Shawn Michaels' return after 4 years.
Well, it's a tale as old as time, man. Two best friends coming up to the industry, one at a higher level than the other. And to be honest, man, it is just jealousy that just brewed over. You know, he's seen that Shawn was always getting the love from the fans, even though he was being an asshole to everybody in the back. And Triple H wanted that. He wanted to be the number one guy. He was tired of being Robin. He wanted to be Batman. And for everyone who hasn't seen this match or who hasn't even heard of it, you're crazy. You got to go back, go into the archives. SummerSlam 2002.
What season is that on Peacock?
Season, it doesn't matter what it is. You look it up, they got Rock and Brock on the cover.
Yeah. You're asking too much now. You can follow our discussion on the It Doesn't Matter podcast on SummerSlam 2002. It was just one of the greatest matches of all time. I got to say, if Shawn were to rank them, they got to be in the top 5. Because, the first two were Mania.
Hell yeah. The whole storyline with Triple H putting Shawn Michaels into the windshield, or when Shawn Michaels got attacked, did not know who it was. It was you all along, Hunter. Oh my God, give me flashbacks. Wrestling that made us. Wrestling that made us. That's all I gotta say.
Do you remember back in the day when he was Commissioner Michaels, and I believe Shawn, he turned Feel and Haste so many times back then. But this one particular segment I'm talking about is, I think this is the one where they wrote him off the show on Raw. He was just like outside. I think he was like chummy with like DX, right?
Yep.
And they're outside. They walk in, but he accidentally like gets locked out, right? Allegedly, like DX locked him out. But then someone says, "Hey, Shawn." He turns around and he kind of like gives that. And then they, commercial. They come back. He's bloody, beaten up. Yep. It's snowing. His face is smashed with the windshield. They wrote off Shawn Michaels, but it never got assigned to anyone. Like, no one got blamed for that. Like, was it the corporation? Was it DX? Did DX hire the Boricuas, the Los Boricuas, to take care of him? Like, what happened to Shawn Michaels in this angle? No one. I don't think it was ever explained. And then randomly he came back on the first SmackDown on UPN, super kicked the Rock, and disappeared again. Something like that.
That shit was flush too. That damn super kick.
Yep.
Oh man, and his banana hammock.
Yeah.
Up all night.
That's what made the Attitude Era. That's raw grittiness.
I guess we'll
all
never
right.
know.
Well, Shawn Michaels, he won this match at SummerSlam after 4 years. So after SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar, he is your new undisputed champion. And Eric Bischoff wants Brock to defend the title on Monday Night Raw, or the next Raw PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. But Stephanie McMahon says he already defended it. It's in his contract. And you know what? Brock is now exclusive to SmackDown. What does Eric Bischoff do? He brings out the big gold, player, my favorite title. And Eric Bischoff, he awards the title to Triple H. So
He
let's
said, Triple H, I choose you.
yes, he chose Triple H. So
A
let's
trinket.
get to Unforgiven 2002. Triple H and Rob Van Dam. Strap. This is his first title defense. While the big gold. Tell us about the match.
John, tell us, who is Rob Van Dam?
Everybody knows
Oh
that
man, this was a very special show to me. It was actually one of the very first pay-per-views I was able to watch as it happened, as a pay-per-view. I was at my friend Kenny's house, and we were watching it there. And at one point during the show, he's like, "Strap, do you mind if we just go check out the score of the baseball game or some shit?" It's like, "Yeah, go ahead. It's your house." Anyway, and it had a killer theme song. It was from the movie Triple X, starring Vin Diesel. But the artist was like Gavin Rosdale from Bush, the band Bush, I believe. Anyway, see, so many memories with the show. And it had a pretty really decent card up and down the show. But yeah, it was Triple H and Rob Van Dam. And, Rob Van Dam was still very supremely popular at this time. And considering the nature of how Triple H acquired the World Heavyweight Championship, it had no legacy. It had no lineage. You could easily give it to Rob Van Dam. Have him win it from a heel. It was Rob Van Dam. It was one of many of Rob Van Dam's time. But unfortunately, or fortunately, because when Ric Flair interfered in the match, he cost RVD the title. And Ric Flair would align with Triple H. Hey, that started Evolution. That started on the way to creating that super group. So great. It restored Ric Flair's confidence in real life, backstage. And it was just all good things. But looking from the perspective of a world title match, nope, RVD losing due to interference from Ric Flair and turning heel in the process. And Triple H, his first title defense was a successful one. And, Triple H would have his run of terror for the next year and a half, really. Next 2 years.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so Triple H retains at Unforgiven because of Ric Flair hitting Rob Van Dam with the sledgehammer. All right, let's get to October, his spooky season. Platino, do you remember the name Katie Vick?
No.
How about Katie Vick? What is it? What is it?
At No Mercy, Triple H defended his title against Kane, but we find out during the whole, build up to this match that Kane had a girlfriend that he made love to when she was deceased inside a casket, and they showed the footage on Monday Night Raw.
That was real footage.
Did she look like this?
I don't
That's
know
with
about
makeup.
what. But then he banged the brains out of her, literally.
Yeah.
I just screwed your brains out.
That's good shit. It's good TV. Oh, you gotta get in there. Oh yeah.
You gotta go raw. You gotta give her like this. And then you know it.
For our audio and visual listeners, you might want to rewind this part many times.
This is
I'm so sorry.
That's what it looks like under a microscope.
just like this little Hardy Boys, whatever. I want to delete that from my brain.
Oh my god. Hey Dante, check out Katie Vick. I know you watching this. Check out the whole Katie Vick and segment with Kane and Triple H. Oh my
Dante,
god.
don't show this to your dad. Relax.
Show him. He might laugh.
Show him in the trunk.
Anyways, so No Mercy. We have Kane and Triple H for the title.
Title for title.
Oh yeah, title for title. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Kane is the Intercontinental title at the time. Had the Intercontinental Championship at the time. Triple H is your World Heavyweight Championship, and they unify the title.
Unified.
Yeah, they got tired of the IC title.
Too many belts.
When didn't they get tired of it?
Here's the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, so they got rid of it for a period of time.
I got to discuss that though.
Go ahead.
Do you think the right woman won?
Yeah, either or.
No.
Just flip a coin. Flip a coin. Either or. I'm fine with it.
All right, so we're talking about on Monday Night Raw for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria.
Did I say it right?
Lyra
Valkyria.
Sorry,
Going 1-on-1 with Kai Dakota Kai, who changed her music, sadly.
Again.
I like the old music, but Dakota Kai, she was in tears. She was crying during the entrance announcements. That's what I thought she was going to win.
Yeah.
But she lost. So I was like, oh no. But no, I like both of them. I didn't watch her. I didn't watch Lyra in NXT because
She was good. She was good.
But no, I like both of them. And hey, just like Tom said, flip a damn coin.
Seriously, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Because my prediction, we'll talk about this later when WrestleMania happens, but I think we're going to get Becky and Lyra at WrestleMania for the IC title.
I could see that.
I see that because her dream, she loved Becky Lynch. So that's a story in the making right there.
That makes sense.
And the
That
man
she should win the real women's title.
All right, so back to this. So, yes, there's a unification match, and obviously the game played the game, and he got the win. He beat the Big Red Machine.
Listen, Kane was literally and figuratively on fire, and he had to come back. He had a tricep injury earlier in the spring of 2002, and he comes back, and he's just a menace. Obviously, he wins the Intercontinental Championship, and he's on a tear. And then all of a sudden, Triple H just comes out with this storyline, Katie Vick. And that's why he's like, was it Katie Vick? We would not know for at least a long week. And of course, their feud continue with these bizarre vignettes in a funeral home where Triple H, wearing a Kane mask, was getting romantic with this apparatus known as Katie Vick, including that famous line, I just screwed your brains out. So you can see why Stone Cold walked out on creative, okay? But had this match, Kane lost a lot of heat, but they still, they're still behind him because they knew how bad this storyline was. But then they had to have Kane admit it, like, I did have a girlfriend. It's like, oh man, why'd you don't acknowledge her? But yeah,
that's all.
But if you're gonna check out No Mercy 2002, there's another notable match on the show. I believe it's Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Benoit and Kurt Angle. I think it's them.
Yes, sir.
But that is worth checking out if you happen to find it through the Peacock algorithm. And make your way to Season 5, Episode 29 of No Mercy. Just kidding. I don't know what number it is.
I'm about to say, damn, you write that down?
No,
you got notes?
I got no notes. Can't you tell? No. But yeah, so Kane would take the L here, and it would all be part of a master plan as we head into the next month.
Yeah, so next month, we are in November, and everybody knows that November is Survivor Series time, and we are headed back to where it all began again. Madison Square Garden. And this is the debut of the Elimination Chamber. Triple H is walking in as your champion. He's going against the Heartbreak Kid with the doo-doo brown trunks.
Yep.
We have the Ayatollah, a rock and roller, that leech, Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
We had Katie Vick's lover. We got the Booker Man, Booker T. And we got
Booger Man.
And we got that whole effing show. We got Rob Van Dam inside this Elimination Chamber. And we just covered this not too long ago.
Now it all makes sense because we were all confused while we were doing this, and now
everything's full circle. We
6
covered
degrees of
this
separation.
in November. Yep. And
Yes.
another match that you guys should definitely watch. We, Platino and I, and what was it, Rose? We discussed it on Wrestle That Made Us.
Yes.
This match alone. And John, weren't you there?
No, he wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No, oh, I thought he was at this one too. All right, no.
He was a little busy. He was.
What was I doing, Abel? I don't know.
He was Nita. Screw her brains out.
Maybe for Wrestling That Made Us. I don't know about 2002. So.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Poppy lack of sleeping, though.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put these 2 years together. 2002, and let me just glue on 2024. 25, baby.
Well, anyways, you want to hear my thoughts and Platino's thoughts? Check it out on Wrestling That Made Us. Let's hear Stratfax thoughts again.
On the Elimination
match,
Chamber, of
right?
course. It's a great one. It's the first one. It has all the magic, all the hard steel, all the hard bumps. Man, the Elimination Chamber is, I mean, it's still fun to watch nowadays, but it ain't the same as the OG one. No. And, of course, RVD doing the frog splash, landing right on Triple H's trachea, and Triple H doing what he does best, making it to the end of a match while being injured, and letting Shawn Michaels have his moment to become a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion.
And he had probably one of the greatest
Haircuts?
Well, no. He probably had one of the greatest animations for WWE SmackDown, where he hit the super kick and
or the inset graphics where they say, "Oh, next week on Raw it's going to be these guys," and like Xavier Woods copied it, and doing the
yeah. I remember that.
Or, well, now we're not talking about the New Day here, but he had Francesca too, and he's AJ Styles in the ring, and he's playing I Am on the trumpet. Hey, they were both TNA guys, and now TNA is cool.
I know. They just did a multi-year merger with WWE or partnership.
I believe in TNA.
So, yeah.
Oh, I can't. All right, so y'all know Royal Rumble is one of my favorite pay-per-views out of the big 5. I'm gonna say I consider Money in the Bank a major pay-per-view now.
Yeah, it's number 5 right now. Maybe number 3. 2.
Any TNA wrestler do you want to see in the Rumble? At first, when he was hot, I want to see Joe Hendry. I don't want to see him in the Rumble now because I feel like he cooled off big time.
Doesn't he have a pay-per-view against Nemeth?
As we record, he already had that match.
Okay.
Yeah. So it
Depending
doesn't
on the result of that.
It doesn't matter because I feel like he cooled off big time. They build him so much in NXT that when he went to TNA, when he went back to TNA and he had a title match and he lost, and then he lost again, and then I watched one of them free pay-per-views that they had, and like the crowd wasn't really even singing the song anymore. Like they just like cooled him off big time. So I don't know the finish, but I'm hoping he doesn't win. Let Nemeth just hold that title for now.
It sounds like a WWE thing that they do when they see someone who's getting organically over without their consent. Yeah, I said it, without their consent. Let's kill this shit. Let's not go with it. Let's run against it. I know you love the whole TNA thing, Dom, and you know what WWE's done with it, but when you see shit like that, sorry I'm swearing, but it just pisses me
every
off.
time. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to be more clean, but
no, I'm fine with that. But WWE did their part because he went up against the champ, and he had a good match. He was over. All right, so now TNA should just capitalize.
They should have.
And let my man win the title. That's WWE did their part. You don't expect a TNA guy to win their title, the NXT title. Not at the time.
Do you see anybody there that's worth your while to coming into the Royal Rumble just to get a little exposure besides, say, someone like a Moose?
You said the name right there. That's the one who I want to see in the Rumble.
I just haven't been following TNA lately, but I still hear good things about him. So
Moose wants to be considered Mr. TNA. AJ's considered Mr. TNA, but Moose, he wants that title. Moose is your X Division champion right now. And you know who wants to come back to the Rumble, and I don't want to see it because I feel like it's still like a fresh wound right now. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, he wants to be in the Rumble.
As Nick Nemeth.
He has to be Nick Nemeth. You're the world champion. You have to be.
You can't go
Well,
back.
he comes in twice.
Oh my god, and lose both of them.
Like, okay, it was on Instagram, you know, and someone did that. You know, they posted like the 10 surprises we want to see, and I'm just like, one of them came up and was like,
sent you?
who the fuck is this? Nick Nemeth. Get this shit off my screen.
I'm like, whose fucking music is this right quick? I don't know who that is. Like, nah.
Unfortunately, no. I mean, for me, I mean, well, I don't follow it either, so I couldn't really tell you who's in TNA other than, Nick Nemeth. I know he's there. What, you gonna have Eddie Edwards there? Come on, please.
Don't forget, he was in NXT. Was it him or who was his partner?
He was there for a sip of coffee.
Okay, it was him.
But
American
Moose, like, okay, he's cool, but who else is there?
That's just the male side. Female side is going to be Jordan Grace again.
Well, her contract is up after she loses to Tessa. Most likely she's going to sign with Eve, where it really don't make a difference now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's just unfortunate.
Masha Slamovich, she'll probably pop up because she was at NXT this past week.
Yeah, that makes sense. Give her a little bit of exposure.
We already seen the Rascals. They already been there, but you're not going to expect that tag team to be inside the Royal Rumble.
No.
The Rascals got a bigger pop than anyone from Legado del Fantasma.
That's crazy. That's the crazy thing is you're right.
Wow.
I can't think of anybody because it's
just Moves. That's the only one I really want to see. Don't bring Ziggler back.
No.
Mickey James was cool when she came out. Hardcore country. I'm like, oh, it's dope.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I love Mickey, but I think that's a tale done and over with. You know.
No,
like
I'm just saying at that time.
I know. Now you got so many women in NXT. I actually started watching a little bit yesterday or the other day. You got a lot of girls. You got Jada Parker. You got Lola Vice. Roxanne Perez just lost the title, so I can see her making another entrance.
Trick's gonna be up there. I know you said women, but Trick's gonna be up there.
Trick will be up here. Lash.
You know, I'm sorry, you get me excited right now. Let me get that Worlds Collide between NXT and TNA. I would love that right there.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
Let me get Moose and Obafemi. Give me that shit.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Give me that.
I might want to see that.
You need someone who's always ready, Matt Cardona.
It's time. I read that he didn't sign with AEW. Like, all right, it's time. And I would love for him to pop up out the Rumble. You hear that Zack Ryder music, and he gets on the microphone and be like, cut this shit off.
Yep.
I am not I'm not Zack Ryder. I'm the indie god.
To say that in WWE?
I'm the indie god, and my wife, and we're one half of the United States Women's Championship, some shit like that. That should be dope. I know John don't like him. Oh,
I think I love him. I love him because he did an interview with somebody where he was talking to some indie guys. He said, "What are you doing in the indies to make yourself better known?" So I do my social medias and all that. And so he goes and look. You only posted something once a week. How you gonna get exposure?
That's enough. He's got to make a tick of the talks before Sunday.
Well, Matt was like, he said every couple hours, just throw something out there. Yeah, it's annoying and it's frustrating, but get your exposure out there. If you want to be well known, you're a nobody that you want to be known. Get your name out there no matter what. It's gonna piss people off, but they're gonna finally say, you know what? He's showing up on my algorithm so much, I gotta check him out. Let me go check on this indie, whatever it is, in my local, and then start exploring. So, if you're not, like I said, if you're an indie guy, I would just shut the hell up and just listen to Matt Cardona because he's already made it up there. So, and he's still relevant to this day without a big company.
He got himself over in WWE with his YouTube videos. He got his dream. He heard his music at WrestleMania. He won the Intercontinental title, the belt that he wanted. He lost the next night, granted. But he got himself over in the indie. He's the indie god. He really is. He's doing everything. He books his own flight. He promotes himself. When his wife won the tag team title, what was the first thing that he did? He went on WWEshop.com. He bought himself a replica tag title, overnighted, and then he's holding it, and he brought it to a GCW show. Like,
Yeah.
What the hell?
He knows what he's doing.
He
Paid
knows
full
what he's
price
doing.
for that joint.
He's waiting for the United States. He's waiting for the United States title now. Oh my God! Like he knows what the hell he's doing.
Smart man.
So, I'm ready to see the big LI back in WWE.
Yeah, lie, not Lee. Anyhow,
All right, but yeah, so we're curious to see where this TNA and WWE partnership happens, and
nowhere.
Yeah,
No yeet.
no yeet. But all right, well, after Elimination Chamber,
Cut. Add. Insert.
yes, after Elimination Chamber, HBK, he wins the title, and their feud, Triple H and HBK feud, they picks up. And then we take it to December, and we cover this show, Armageddon 2002. And this time, we have 3 stages of hell. The first stage is a street fight. Do you guys remember the first match? Who won the first match? You guys know?
Shawn Michaels.
Wrong. Triple H won the street fight. The
Now,
second fight.
Yeah,
Go
this
ahead.
was Fight Forever before Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Yes. The second fight, the second stage was a cage match. Well, you know Shawn won that match because we know you're going to get that third fall. And that third stage was a ladder match. I think they should have reversed the ladder with the cage match, but it is what it is.
I'm okay with it because you would have thought that because it's a ladder match and Shawn's been so synonymous with it, it's like, it's automatic. He's going to win that. So it was like a swerve, bro.
Well, Triple H won a ladder match before, too.
Yeah.
Shawn never won a ladder match.
I think he did. He won the Intercontinental belt against Razor. The second time.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
SummerSlam 95? No, he didn't. Google it.
No, wait, no, Shawn, yeah, because he got beat up. He had to give up the Intercontinental title to Dean Douglas.
Razor beat him twice in a ladder match.
No, he beat him in Mania.
I'm going to Google it right now. Hold on.
All right. Let me flesh it out. Yeah, Shawn got beat up by 5 Girl Scouts in the Syracuse parking lot.
Yep.
And he had to forfeit the Intercontinental title to Dean Douglas at an In Your House. And Dean Douglas proceeded to hold the title for an hour or two before losing it to the bad guy, who's the only 4-time Intercontinental Champion, Razor Ramon.
All right, you got me. Shawn did get him.
All right, we all got one bad on this show. So,
There you go.
Damn. We should get one more match, Shawn and Razor, one more time.
Hey,
Shawn wins that one.
You know why I can't have another title belt match?
Dead.
Because I'm the real dead man.
Hey, guys.
Hey, yo.
So,
I'm going to hell for that. Oh, my God. That's my favorite guy. Jeez.
guys, so you
Going
got
to hell. In a
So
cell. Creator Poppy Platino versus Razor Ramon.
so WrestleMania 18. You have The Rock and Hogan, followed by Triple H and Jericho. SummerSlam 95. You have Shawn and Razor for the ladder match, and then for your World Heavyweight Title match, you have Diesel defending his title against King Mabel.
You know what Jim Johnson thinks of hip hop music? Listen to Mabel's theme. Anyway.
You like that? Dun-dun-dun.
Wee, wee, wee.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know why I was thinking about that today. You know why? Because someone on Instagram has a curtain fascination with Big Daddy Cool Diesel in the early days of his run, which I'm also interested in because I wasn't around for it. And man, were those promos bad? Man, were all those things Diesel did as soon as he became WWF champion? God, were they awful? He was in Titan Towers, leading the whole team in sing fa la 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 la. What the fuck? He's doing this terrible promo where he's pretending to be a game show host with Bret the Hitman Hart to. Oh God, these things are crazy, cringy, so cringy.
He made him crack though. He he messed up Bret. He was like, you can see him on the you son of.
But it's Kevin Nash, man.
Yes, that 3 Stages of Hell match at Armageddon 2002. If you want to hear us go in full detail, check out our Armageddon 2002 show. We definitely cover that, and I believe we got a Benoit and Jericho, or Benoit and Eddie Guerrero match on that card too. I want to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
It wasn't one of their better.
Yeah,
matches.
it wasn't one of their best ones.
That's why I was a little disappointed with that one. I was like, what? A bad Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero? I don't like it.
Their best match together was Last Man Standing.
Who won that one?
The fans.
Last
But
Man Standing,
yes.
really?
Last Man Living. So the Triple H here in the year 2002. Like I said, I found it fascinating because look at Triple H in the beginning of the year, coming back, Madison Square Garden, big babyface, big pop, and not even to the end of the year, Madison Square Garden one more time in the Elimination Chamber as the most hated guy on the whole roster.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. And it's like, it's the same guy. All right. It's the same Triple H. But like in wrestling, you just wear a different hat. You put on a different t-shirt, a different robe, a new tights, you know. Triple H, the number one babyface, as booked in typical WWE fashion, headlining WrestleMania, winning the Royal Rumble, headlining Mania, beating the heel at the main event. Okay, and then things changed because outside forces happened. Hulk Hogan was suddenly popular. He wasn't even a thought probably in January when the Royal Rumble was booked.
Not even.
And so they gave Hogan the title. And they're like, you know what? He's not drawing as well week to week as we thought he was because Hogan doesn't draw week to week. He's just not that kind of guy.
No.
So for some reason, maybe because Undertaker had that old school heat with Hogan. Oh, my neck, brother. My neck. It was 10 inches away from the mat, but oh, my goodness. That Tuesday in Texas. Oh, let me do some squats. You know. You know, so get the win to the Undertaker, which to me gave me my favorite version of the Undertaker, Booger Red, Big Evil, Red Devil, the Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match. That Undertaker.
Call. My
You
favorite
know?
call all time that JR's ever had.
You can do it, kid.
Make yourself famous. Make yourself famous, kid.
Oh man, I love that more than the good God, Gallo. No, that. Come on, Jeff. Go make yourself famous. Ah!
Then you get the handshake. Yep.
Yo, man, that is. Oh my God, I get chills even hearing that call.
And then Triple H bringing back a man sorely missed, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, getting him back into professional wrestling, you know. And then, of course, his new gimmick being the heel World Heavyweight Champion of a brand just literally given to him because Brock Lesnar was on the other side. And they let Triple H run roughshod over the entire Raw roster, across the entire former WCW roster. Now, if it only happened at the same time, if you could say, yes, Triple H ran over the alliance of RVD, Booker T, Scott Steiner, Hogan, earlier, Nash, Kevin Nash in the Hell in the Cell, every top WCW guy you can think of, he eventually jobbed them out.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the year, there's Triple H. He had that one more match with Shawn at the Armageddon in 2002. One hell of a year for Triple H from beginning to end. Find me a more fascinating individual in that 12-month span.
Yep.
And let's rock and roll with that.
Strap, thank you for letting me relive 2002, I did my research and I was looking at all the matches. I'm like, golly, I'm like, 2002 is loaded. Like you said, Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, that ladder match on Raw for the title. You had Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, and Unforgiven. You had Brock and Rock, Shawn and Triple H, Eddie Guerrero and Edge. You have Hogan and Edge. Don't they win the tag team titles that year too in 2002? Or was that 2003?
Yeah. No, it might have been 2003.
2003. All right, so we're getting close, but they was heating up though. I'm looking right now. You also have, I'll never forget this match on Raw: Rob Van Dam and Eddie Guerrero.
Oh God.
Oh yeah,
Classic for the Intercontinental Championship.
What a match.
You had that. I'm just looking right now. You have The Rock, Undertaker, and Kurt Angle at Vengeance.
Oh.
Brock and Undertaker, No Mercy.
That Brock and Undertaker match at Unforgiven, though.
Yeah.
God, that was
brutal.
It ended because the Undertaker threw Brock through the sign. You know.
Jeez.
So, I mean, I used to, my former associate of mine, he would always just bitch to me nonstop. Oh, wrestling, this is a couple of years ago. Wrestling is no good right now, this, that. And I would be like, shut up. Like,
hey, Mitch,
there's so much.
Oh, sorry.
There's so much good in wrestling that if you knew about it, then you would enjoy it. It's like, fine. WWE in 2019, go fuck yourself. Sorry, Kofi. But, if you don't like wrestling now, there's something there for you that's still wrestling. You go back in time, go to the archives, do some research like Dom did, and it's like, look what's there. If you want to do the retrospective on Jeff Hardy in the year 2009, that's a wild year for that man as well. Yeah. But I couldn't remember anything.
Victory Road?
He was still in WWE.
Yeah, he was still in WWE.
Oh, I thought it was Victory Road right there.
He wasn't in TNA yet.
That was like in 2013.
Yeah, but we could do a year review of the year 2009. I mean, I could barely tell you anything about it. I'm sure John Morrison was in a lot of matches, and Dolph Ziggler too, but nothing like 2002, where all that stuff is. You want to go off on side tangents? You go with Eddie Guerrero. He was gone from the company. He came back. Yeah, he had that incredible match with RVD, and they're fighting back and forth for the Intercontinental title. He would go on to face Edge and I think he faced Ric Flair, I think. But Eddie Guerrero would have a pretty awesome 2002 as well. So did Edge. So did the SmackDown 6, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and Chavo. So
I just looked up the top 10 matches of 2002 for WWE. The number one match is a tag team match at No Mercy. It's Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit versus Rey Mysterio and Edge.
Sounds about right.
You can already imagine how that went.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen it.
Those four, instant chemistry, man.
And this is the crux. This is the apex of what we do here. Important business. The Hurt Business on the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We relive shows, relive memories that I have, memories that Platino has, memories that Dom has. And they're all similar, but they can be different. And they will inspire you and motivate you to check out these shows, check out the history, check out the great history of pro wrestling, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, AEW, all of it. It's out there. Don't be sad. Get glad. Get a subscription. Subscribe. Buy a t-shirt on sale, on clearance. Go to Hot Topic. Get some socks. Whatever. Just be a pro wrestling fan. Listen to the show. And subscribe to our channel. And comment every single thing that you want to say to us. Including, John, you lied to us on air. And you admitted to it.
Hey, play his fuck up. It's all good, brother.
But I gotta say, just doing all the talking and all that, Shawn is probably one of the original. He's never gonna come back. His injury is just too dire, and he came back in 4 years. Then you got guys like Edge, you got Danielson, you got Who else just came back? CM Punk, we never thought he'd come back.
10
He
years.
didn't really have an injury, but his injury was kind of bad.
His heart was broken.
Don't listen to our CM Punk episode. Skip that one.
Hi, Phil.
Yeah. Sorry, Phil. You jerk.
Because, Phil, you have half the brain that I do.
And you have 0 main events that I have. And I have no Hall of Fame that I should be in.
Maybe this year.
He should be. I'm sick and tired of it.
I quit. I quit. All right, man. Wow, but John,
Never
that
gets
was a good time to relive in 2002, man. I definitely
All right.
enjoyed that. We definitely got to do that again with somebody else.
Yeah,
Sure.
2002 is going to be a hell of a look back for somebody else in their rise from little star to the evolution.
So the way we came up with Triple H's 2002, John was on hiatus at the time, but he hit me up and he was like, we should relive Triple H 2002 because he started out as the guy and then he just basically downhill spiraled, then became the top heel of the business. And then I had that shit in my notes since like November. Was it like November? You told me that shit?
Always in here, though.
Yes, I had that in my brain since November. Like,
Sure.
all right, we definitely gonna do this.
Yeah.
So, and we made it happen. It was good. It was definitely good to relive this. And damn, I hated Triple H.
You're not the
He's
only
so
one.
he's so damn good.
Yeah,
He's so
he
damn
really
good.
is.
He's so damn good. I hate Triple H.
Yeah. I hated him
I
so
still
much.
stand by that.
I hated his character, but
Oh
man,
my god.
everything else he's done in the business. Thank you.
Yeah, we will definitely do that again, and not sure who. I still want to do Kurt Angle and TNA, but that's a long window right there. John will have to pick a year for that one.
Could break it
Man
down.
Jones.
We could do the first year that he came in and just made a hell of an impact.
Good, because it's only 3 months.
There you go.
Kurt Angle's first
No.
year in TNA. October, November, December. You got
No,
it, pal.
we'll do that from like October to October.
Nah, you definitely inspired me. I know I had on my notes plenty of times that it was some dudes I want to definitely cover, like what happened to British Bulldog after 1992 SummerSlam. Like, I wanted to like shit like that.
That's
And
another downward spiral.
You know,
That's just more research for me. That's all that shit is.
It's crazy, just from where he was, and then
it will be a little bit tougher, Dom, because I don't think I can do anyone else's history like that.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
You couldn't do The Rock?
The Rock is so in and out. It's hard.
The
Nah,
Rock
I'm
never.
talking about like Rock 97, 98.
The Rock,
shit
I mean,
like that.
The Rock never really changed. I mean, that much.
No.
Triple H, Triple H like I said, Triple H changed like 4 times that year. He was just a different character. Different. I mean, he wasn't a different character. He played a different role so many times that year.
Yeah.
Where The Rock was just the same character all year long. A great character, but it's still the same. You'd want something like Stone Cold. And oh no, you want Stone Cold in 2001. You know, Stone Cold. Yeah.
Hold on. Abel, who's on your shirt?
No.
Yes,
that worked
Mick
for us
Foley.
last time.
We
Mick
need
Foley-
people to watch the show.
Mick Foley in what? 1997?
Okay, yeah, 97 actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, Mick
Yeah.
Foley, 1997. A wacky year. It's too easy though. It's too easy.
That was like during 96 was his debut. When
Yeah,
He came in as Mankind.
yeah. 97, literally a transformative year
Yeah.
for Mrs. Foley's baby boy. But on a large scale, like I said, Stone Cold Steve Austin, 2001, man, he was no longer the top babyface. I mean, they booked him as such, but The Rock while in his absence, The Rock became the number one babyface. So here he is, Stone Cold trying to get his number one babyface role back, and he goes psycho, makes a deal with the devil with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, And he's turned into a wicked heel, beating the tar out of the Hardy Boys and Lita with a steel folding chair. It doesn't mean shit because people like that out of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
Then the alliance happens. He gets hurt. Booker T hurts him at the King of the Ring, so he can't be on TV anymore. He can't wrestle. And neither can Kurt Angle because Shane McMahon just wouldn't throw him hard enough. So Kumbaya. They had to do some funny skits, and it turned into my favorite version of Stone Cold, the Alliance Stone Cold, and then he'd come back. He would tease turning face again, turn heel. That's not wrestling related. Turn heel again, and then by the end of the year, he's back to being number one baby. He's back to being a number one baby face, facing off Booker T in a supermarket sweep.
I got one. 2003, Kane.
Ooh, is that when he got?
Yeah, that's when he got unmasked.
Ugh.
Oh my God, he went crazy that year.
We might have to discuss that year.
He went from being on the pre-show with RVD, Lance Storm, and Val Venus to fighting Shane McMahon at the Survivor Series.
Damn near electrocuting him too.
And the balls.
I got one for you, Strap. What year did your boy Christian leave WWE the first time?
He had a good year in 2005. Yeah, 2005, you'd have to follow him through both promotions, though. Because Christian, he started off the year, he was hot, man. Came out of the Rumble, or he had the backstage skit at the Rumble 2005. He was on fire with Tomko. Tomko, give me a beat. No. All right. My name is Christian. It would lead to his, like I said, he would just have a hot year, but, Vince wasn't pushing him yet. He's flying under the radar.
Take that beak.
And it would lead to Christian having a championship match with John Cena at Vengeance. There's that Vengeance again. And at the last minute, they threw Chris Jericho in there, I think. And Christian took that as a personal offense. So you don't think I'm good enough to have a one-off pay-per-view with John Cena? Okay. Well, he did not renew his contract. I remember that. He was part of the SmackDown brand. He was just going to be one of those guys. Who knows what else? And but he joined TNA and won the NWA title, like in his debut, I think.
Shocked the hell out of me.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's Christian Cage.
And don't forget, I also mentioned before Joker Sting. I'd love to cover that whole
Oh my God.
that thing right there.
I never watched that version, but it would be great.
It definitely would be. Definitely. Wow.
There's so many options here on the It Doesn't
So
Matter
many
podcast.
options, so many topics. But next week's topic is unanimous decision. It's January, it's Royal Rumble season, and we are taking it back to 2008 Royal Rumble. And I'm going to go through the card right quick. We have in a career-threatening match. If this man loses, he has to retire. We have the Nature Boy, that man who's sitting right there behind Platino, or right in front of Platino, Ric Flair. He's taking on some dude who's down with the Hurt Syndicate, Montel Vontavious Porter. MVP. In our next match, we have John Bradshaw Layfield taking on that leech of Chris Jericho.
Hi, guys.
And then for your World Heavyweight Championship, we have the Rated R Superstar Cope,
Oh.
also known as Edge. Your mama named you Edge, I'm going to call you Edge. And he's going against Rey Mysterio. And then for your WWE Championship, we have the Viper, the Legend Killer. We have Randy Orton, and he's taking on the charismatic Enigma, Mr. DUI. We got Willow. We have Jeff Hardy. And then we got our 30-man Royal Rumble to main events. WrestleMania 24 in, was it Orlando?
Yep.
It was Orlando. And we have Triple H in the Royal Rumble. We have some other people. And we have some guy. He made his return at the Rumble. And yeah, where was this at? Was this in the Garden?
Yep.
Sure was.
Damn, everything go back in the Garden. And I
Because he
also
came back from his peck.
want to do another. I want to do another show. Well, I want to do a show about the Garden. I'll tell you that now.
You want to talk about the Garden?
The Garden. I had that in my notes for the longest time.
You just want to talk specifically about the Garden, or just specific show in the Garden?
Just matches that took place in the Garden. Like big moments like Triple H's, John Cena returning, John being there,
I've never been.
Goldberg, Brock.
Oof. Might puke on that one.
Undertaker, Kane. A lot of matches in the Garden. Hogan.
Benoit.
Yep.
Santino Marella versus Chavo.
Santino. I can't believe that.
I want it's a Yankees
word.
jersey.
Yo, this man had every single New York jersey on there. Man had like 8 jerseys on.
Because he was pregnant.
Terrible.
Covered up.
Well, that is our show. That is Triple H 2002. Next week, Royal Rumble 2008. Strap. Do the honors.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for following along with us as we have a stream of consciousness between myself, Strapfax, between Poppy Plano, between the Notorious One, DOM. We thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, once again, please just enjoy the show. Enjoy pro wrestling. And we will see you next time.
Boom.